What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wealth Over Fame, where the hustle meets the grind and the playbook isn't just on the court. I'm your host, Whittney, the real estate game changer. And if you're ready for your VIP pass to the world of sports and real estate, let's get it. What's up, good people? Today we got JT Webb here from C2C Inspections, and we're going to talk about home inspections today. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so appreciate you first having me here today, Whitney. I'm JT Webb, the owner of the best home inspection company here in Houston, Texas. As she just said, C2C Home Inspections. We also do we're also a general contracting company as well, so we're able to do home repairs, home renovations, and stuff like that. And just excited to really talk about home inspections, talk about the market, and really dive into it.
Yeah. So how long you been a home inspector, and what inspired you to go down this career path?
Yeah, so I've been a home inspector since 2020, so about 4 years, and it's interesting how I got into it. So I was actually a commercial construction superintendent. So I was building apartments between Dallas and Houston. Then in 2020 with COVID, you remember how a lot of people got laid off?
Right.
So our whole camp, our whole team got laid off. I was one of them too. Got laid off in 2020, and it was really a blessing in disguise. You know, that kind of pushed me out into entrepreneurship, and kind of struck a light bulb with the inspections. So you know what, I'm gonna pursue it, and it ended up working out for me.
And it's crazy because the pandemic pushed me into my entrepreneurship as well. And it was crazy because I seen one of my advisors, my college advisors, and she's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Real estate." And she's like, "You've been an entrepreneur. I wonder what took you so long." And I was like, why you ain't take no when I was in college?
Right.
Y'all told us to get good grades, go to school, get a degree, go get a good job. That's what y'all told us. But she said she'd been seeing it in me, but the pandemic pushed a lot of people into entrepreneurship to the point where people didn't even really want to work. They just really wanted to work for themselves, which is a good thing and a bad thing because we all need employees at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's right.
What is how can you share your journey in the home inspection industry? What's some pivotal moments that solidified the decision for you?
Yeah. So I naturally had a background in construction. So at that 2020 time when I got laid off, I was trying to figure out what could I get into, and I always knew we could go back to our old jobs, the jobs we already have experience in. Didn't really want to do that, so I was just kind of looking at what I have my experience in that I can go and apply that into something directly. So first thing I thought of was the real estate world. What can I do in real estate? So of course I could be a contractor. You got a bunch of those. Kept read about, real estate agents, lenders and stuff. Didn't really feel like, none of those things really fit my mold until I came up on inspector. It was kind of exactly what I've been doing for the past 8 years of my career.
So why inspector and not appraiser?
Oh, I wish I knew what I knew now because I go back and be an appraiser.
Well, what's stopping you though?
Nothing stopping me. And I don't want to misquote myself, but the appraisal has a pretty stringent, process to get your license. Right. And so because of my background in construction, I was able to really use a lot of that experience to easily get my home inspector license.
When we get out of here, I'm going to tell you something, but when we get out of here about that, I got something for you.
You got to put me on game.
What are some of the biggest challenges and rewards you've encountered in your career as a home inspector?
Biggest challenges, I would say, is the liability side of the job. Being a home inspector, it's a really, really high liability job. I mean, as you know, we dealing with clients and they're making some of the biggest purchases in their life. Right. So that's not something that we take lightly. I know you don't, something I don't either. And I mean, somebody's buying a $500,000 house. The worst thing they want to have is they move into the house to find out they got a big repair bill or something that needs to get taken care of. So the liability would probably be the biggest, I would say the biggest, the most important thing about inspections. And then the most rewarding part would be really being able to help out all of your clients, really being able to take a homeowner who, doesn't know the difference between the roof and the foundation and actually be able to explain to her what this is what it's for, this is the correct way to have it installed, and then to really be able to put them at ease before they make their purchases is really rewarding.
I know your work, so I know how important your work is. And how has the industry changed, the inspection industry changed from when you started during pandemic to post-pandemic? How did that change?
Yeah, it's so remember the pandemic, the market was crazy. People were buying houses, skipping the inspection period. So what I found is we got a lot of buyers during that time that have, 2-3 years from now that they're starting to call back and saying, hey, I'm having this issue with my house, this problem with my house. As opposed to some of these clients now, they're not able to waive those inspections. They're able to get their option period, actually get their inspections in and get that stuff caught before closing on the property. So I think just the biggest difference I'm seeing is just the client satisfaction, because the clients aren't skipping their inspections like they were previously during COVID.
Yeah.
And actually, going through the inspection process, finding out what needs to get repaired, getting those credits done, it's ultimately leading to a happier consumer in the end.
That's what's up. So I want to talk about new construction versus resale, because you'll have a first-time home buyer say, or not even a first-time home buyer, but a home buyer say, well, it's a new construction, I don't need an inspection. And then I literally had somebody say, well, somebody already lived here, what I need to inspect for? Give me what are the key differences between inspecting a new construction and a resale, an older home?
No, it's almost like a night and day experience between inspecting the two. A new construction house, I'll go ahead and say it right now, even though it's new, it's not perfect. It just means all your building materials are new.
Right.
It can be worse than a house built in the 1930s, brand new house. So don't let that fool you. But my personal opinion on what I've seen between the new construction houses and the older houses is something, that's pretty common amongst everything. You see a lot of quality control, people cutting, trying to, save cost on materials, save cost on labor. So you're seeing a lot of that now in some new construction houses, just with the material just kind of really being suboptimal as compared to some of the older houses. Me personally, I wouldn't buy a new construction house right now, just off of the materials that they're using and what they used to use. But again, you can. There are some really, really well-constructed new homes, that won't give you any problems throughout the life of the house. But again, I'm really, combing it with the fine-tooth comb and really getting detailed on it.
So, quick question. We just had all these storms. And we got a lot of video footage of these new construction homes, roof gone, but the older house is still standing strong. And this new construction house is about done for, and we basically got to start to build all over.
Yeah.
To me, that says a lot.
That says it all right there.
I'm not, listen to me, builders. We just really want y'all to do the best job possible and not cut corners. To our consumers, we really want you to know what you're purchasing and get you the best dollar bang for your buck, basically. So we're not knocking you on new construction. We're not knocking builders or anything. We just want the best product for the best dollar. If on your side, we want the inspection to go well. And, if it doesn't, if the inspection go bad, the appraisal go bad, more than likely it won't get approved for a loan. So it just, doing it right from the beginning is probably the best policy.
Yeah, and I don't want to scare people away from new construction homes. Again, they can be built great, but again, the building materials, they're just different. You can look at a house built in 1980 compared to the house built in 2024. They just use different building materials.
They look good.
They look great.
Yeah, they look
beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say the builder's name, but I was doing some work for a builder, and some told me, now these are $1 million houses. Some told me to just look at the house. So first I had one client come in, and he looked like it was built with IKEA. And I was like, oh, man. Okay. It's 5,600 square feet. Nice size house. I'm trying to defer from the fact that you said it's built by IKEA. But then I go outside and I look at, some of the finishing. And it's
quality.
It's not even painted correctly. It's halfway, it's one coat.
Yeah.
It was just bad. And I'm like, these are $1 million homes. And you want people to put a price tag on something like that, you better serve the quality.
And see, the thing with new construction houses that I always have to tell clients is, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, whoever's getting that new build, built right now. But I hate to tell you, but in the contractor's eyes, your house is just another house.
Right.
It's...
If you are getting a build, I want you to be very, very interactive with your construction team,
yes.
your construction manager. Be
yes.
very involved in your process.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, this is your finished product, and you want to make sure that you get what you pay for. And to build a house isn't cheap. So.
And that's a great tip right there. I always tell my clients, if they contact us early in their build phase, I always tell clients, go to your build as much as you can. Go show your face.
Ask as many questions as you can.
Many questions. Make sure that whoever is the builder on your house, he's worried, so-and-so might show up at any time and come and check.
And give your agent the power to pop up and help you out if you can't make it and things like that. Because the more you're in their face, the more they do the right thing.
The more ask, the better.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we pretty much covered. What are some frequent problems that you see in old houses?
Old houses, I would say the biggest problem, especially down here in Houston, would be termites.
So that's most frequent.
That would be the only issue, as far as me, that would really push me away from my home, would be termites. Because everything else is fixable. Even termite damage is fixable. It's just pretty expensive.
So tell the people here in Houston, if you're looking to buy a house, what they looking for when they just identify termites.
Okay, so to the naked eye, it might be a little tough, but what we get trained on is looking for what's called mud tubes around your foundation. It's a really distinct tube that termites make, and it's basically going to be a tube coming from the ground, going up along the side of the slab, and it's basically how the termites get from the ground up into the wood and start to eat around that wood.
I love learning new stuff. And we know new constructions. What is the most frequent problem from roof to foundation that you find when you inspect a new construction home?
The most frequent problem, it wouldn't probably be a specific problem, but more so just something that the contractor just missed. It might be just something that completely got missed on the house. I've walked in houses that had missing insulation, and it's just kind of like the builder, he didn't do it on purpose. He just has 30 houses he's working on. It's a lot going on. And he's like, man, I can't come and check on every single one of those individually. So
he got to trust his workers to do the work. And sometimes,
and unfortunately, it don't
being a boss costs sometimes.
It costs.
Why is it crucial for home buyers to get a professional inspection, regardless of whether it's a new home or a resale?
I think it's for protecting yourself. Honestly, it's it's not for us. You know what I mean? It's honestly and truly for the client. Once you take over their property, I don't think a lot of people understand it's yours.
All repairs is your problem unless you got warranties and insurance and things in place. And that's also important, guys. Get your warranties and your insurance in place when purchasing a home, because it's crucial. And here in Houston, it's getting harder and harder to get houses insured.
Yeah.
But if we do things the right way, then things fall in place how they're supposed to. Just
like you said, if we do things the right way, we can catch them before you even close on the property.
Sometimes it sounds too much like right, but... Can you share any stories where an inspection revealed critical issues that saved a buyer from a poor investment?
Oh, yeah. I just had one probably about 2 weeks ago. It was a young lady. She had wanted to get the inspection done before she bought it as a flip house. Okay. So she was going in there with the intentions of upgrading everything in the house. But the one thing that she forgot, and one thing a lot of flippers forget, is upgrading your major appliances. So, of course, she looked at the walls and everything, kind of put her budget together on, we need to redo the walls here, tile here, and stuff like that. But what she didn't include in her budget was, new condensers, new furnaces, new water heaters. So as I was doing her inspection, I was looking at these items. And I wanted to actually paused the inspection midway and gave her a call like, ma'am, are you kind of aware of some of this stuff on the property? Because the budget she was thinking she was going to be able to spend on that house, there's no way. Oh, yeah, she was going to be in a bad situation, once she started pulling everything down. So that was something why we were actually able to kind of just end the inspection in the middle, partially refund her inspection and save her out of bad deal.
So you talk about appliances and things like that. So I know a lot of older houses, the wiring and it don't push out as many voltage and things like that. But the appliances, the newer ones, require more voltage. If I'm correct. How do you like that? That would be a problem, like in an older house, right?
Yeah. So we do check that out, and again, it can just kind of depend on specifically what time period your house was built. You know, you got some really, really old houses where you got to do a full update of them. So it really just kind of depends on when your house was built, the condition that your house is in right now, you know, and whether or not it needs to get upgraded. But I mean, as far as inspection, I mean, I always tell clients, if your 5 big majors check out good, and I always tell flippers, if you can get the 5 big majors good, you know, everything else is really kind of secondary to it and is really kind of fixable. But
and minor.
Yeah, the roof, the foundation, and then our 3 utilities, the AC and heating, electrical and plumbing. You know, a water heater, as long as we have a, you know, new water heater.
Can you repeat those 5 for the people one more time?
Yeah, the 5 majors. So if you're a flipper, please don't skip on these 5 majors because we're going to get you at the inspection. And then this is what I also recommend for agents to check, you know, while you're first walking the property, kind of give you a good understanding of the condition. So the first one's going to be the roof. You know, standing at the ground, if we see any damaged shingles, missing shingles and stuff like that, kind of lets us know that the roof could possibly need some work. And then the next one is going to be our foundation. It's going to be a little harder to tell without actually testing the foundation. But again, if you see any large cracks in the brick on the exterior or any doors that are out of square, if you feel any severe sloping in the house, that can possibly let us know that we have some issues with the foundation. Then the last 3 are going to be our 3 major utilities. That's going to be the electrical system, the plumbing system, and the HVAC system. So for the electrical system, we're going to look at the panel just to see if the panel is upgraded, like you said, making sure we have grounded outlets and stuff like that so that way we can install some of these newer appliances. And then for the plumbing, we're going to check the water heater to make sure that our water heater is a decent age and not just too outdated. And then the AC system, checking the age of all of that equipment, making sure our condenser, evaporator coil, and furnace are all fairly new and working properly as well.
So those are the big 5. So because I do not recommend anybody buy a house without a real estate agent. No. It's not a good idea. They say 80% of the time the client gets screwed. I actually watched a video because a guy was he got a house. He owns a house and the client came by, didn't have an agent. He said, all right, well, send me the contract. And he said, where I get the contract from? So he finally got the contract because they are printable offline. But then you don't understand the contract and so many other things that you got to do as a realtor. We just don't open doors. But I do not suggest you to buy a house, but I also want the client to be informed about the house. So
can I make one note before you go to the next one? New construction buyers, get an agent still. I got a client right now trying to go with the builder, and it's just kind of like you buying from the big brother and you have the little brother working for you, thinking that the little brother is going to have your best interest at heart.
And his loyalty is to the big brother.
To the big brother.
So we are here, real estate agents are here to fight for you to make sure that everything goes for the most part your way, whether it's the price, the inspection, repairs, whatever the case it is. As much as they need to know it, we have to know it because, you know, we are a resource for these clients. But as a client who's out here looking at houses, sometimes, you know, we might not be able to show our client. We might be like, hey, just take a ride over there and go look at it. We'll open the door for you tomorrow or something. What are some things they can look for, like, as a client? Like, I was told, like, if the driveway, if there's slanted cracks, there possibly could be a foundation issue.
Yeah, and I don't want to, you know, put too many things out there because I don't want, you know, to create too many home inspectors with buyers walking in saying it's a bad house. But you know, I would try and, you know, pay as close attention as I can to the big 5. You know, again, you know, as a buyer, you might not really be able to easily discern what's a good roof and what's a bad roof. But I think, most of us from being able to look at new construction houses, looking at older houses, we can kind of tell that roof looks a little worn.
Right.
Sort of kind of let you know, the given condition of the house with, maybe what kind of repairs you can anticipate. But I would still, really rely on that home inspection to really come and provide all of that information. But again, it would be the big five, as you walk in the house, if the condenser looks old and rusted and stuff, good chance you might have to replace it.
Because I've gotten in the habit of looking at the HVAC, looking at everything, checking the date, everything to the point to where it's like, all right, well, this is all that, because it's best to be over-prepared and be ready for any question that comes your way. So as a real estate agent, we're not inspectors, but there are certain things. So you just did an inspection for me not too long ago, probably like a week ago, for a current client of mine. And every inspection report isn't the same. So what are some good techniques when reading that inspection report?
Yeah, so every inspector's report will be different. So I'll just kind of touch on how we do ours. So we actually rate ours on the 3-part classification. So we have a maintenance category, a recommendation category, and then a red safety category.
It's kind of color coordinated.
Color coordinated as well. Yeah, blue for maintenance, orange for recommendation, and then red for safety. So the maintenance item is going to always kind of be, deferred maintenance stuff with the house that had just been deferred but isn't necessarily affecting the house in any way. Orange is going to have some issues that we recommend to get repaired, but also some of those items, if we don't repair them, is also not going to have an effect on the house.
Right.
Then some items in red, which you rarely, honestly, I don't believe in putting stuff in red unless it's going to be an imminent danger to you or your family. Again, because everything can be fixed, but the red is going to be, serious safety hazards, something that needs to be replaced right now if it really puts your home in danger.
Okay. So like I said, last week we did that. I think it was last week we did that inspection. So again, you helped me a lot during this inspection. It allowed us to leverage a little bit with the seller because of the items that you were able to find. Let's talk about that house for a second.
Okay.
It's an older house, but it's sturdy. So when we first looked at it, I was like, I don't know. But then he came in, and what'd you have to say about it?
The house looked good to me. Again, it looked like, a flipper had came through and did some renovations to it. A couple of things weren't outdated. Were outdated on that house, weren't it?
Some with the furnace or something like that.
Yeah, there were a few things that were outdated on the house. But again, the structure of the house, and as I told the client, structure of the house is great. It's
crazy because she really wanted a new construction. And I told her, I said, some good resales out here. Let's go.
Some really good resales out there. And that house specifically was a really, really nice property.
For the budget, though?
Yeah, it was
for that budget?
Nice property.
I was like, nice cool beans. So, that was a good one. But during his inspection, he did find some problems. To be honest, he's very thorough. The report is very, very understanding. It's user-friendly, to be honest. But the inspection helped the client save money. And we needed the money saved. but it was able to save the money, and it helped us out to help actually get this deal closer to closing, to be honest. So, I really want to thank you about that and coming out and doing that and getting that done and being as thorough as you are.
That's another plus, though, just about people don't really think about that as an inspection. They think this is just when I'm going to find out about my house, but it's actually your time to negotiate.
Right, it's a leverage tool.
It's a leverage,
It's a leverage tool. No house is perfect.
Yeah.
So, if you're getting that inspection report back, for me, as an agent, I tend to tell my clients, like, hey, let's get the inspection done. Let's actually see if there's anything we can leverage on here to see if we can save you some money. That's just that.
That's great. That just as an agent, because, again, I know you got some agents who got the brother-in-law inspector who comes in and find one or two things and we're good to go.
No, because there's no point of doing that, because even after the inspection, it has to be appraised. If it doesn't pass appraisal,
deal's dead.
We paid for an inspection for nothing because we got a brother-in-law who just came. We know he don't work for free. He might give you that family discount, but he don't work for free.
Yeah.
So you pay, the client has actually paid for an inspection, got the inspection done for the brother-in-law to come in and look, and then the appraiser come back and say, well, it doesn't apply for FHA. Because FHA, VA, and conventional, all those loans have specific things that have to appraise.
Yeah.
So the inspection is one step. The appraisal is another. Appraisal tells you your market value. So, like, they're not going to be as thorough as the inspection. They're going to give you market value. They're going to give you issues and repairs and everything like that need to be done. Appraisal is going to give you the value. So, yeah, it's just very important to get that appraisal done. What are some best practices you recommend based on that recent inspection that we did together?
Best practices as far as for the homeowner?
Can I say, I advise all homeowners, first homeowners, to go to inspection. I really do. Now, I go to all my inspections. I might not stay the whole time, but I show up to all my inspections. Right. For one, it's a learning opportunity for me, and for my clients, it's a learning opportunity for you as well. And you get to see the actual work that's done. Like when we did this inspection, I actually learned how they check to see if it's a foundation issue on there. And it's simple, but if you don't know anything simple, if you don't know what you're doing, then you mess it up.
Like rocket science.
You mess it up, because I still can't tell you it's foundation issue. But it was pretty dope though. It was pretty dope. But tell us a little bit about
we give a booklet to all of our clients, and it actually is a home maintenance guidebook. So it just kind of talks about home maintenance and what you have to do to maintain your house. A lot of people think, it's a house, I just buy it, move into it, and that's it. Like, no, there's a lot of moving parts in the house.
Couldn't be farther from the truth.
Ooh, man, yeah, else you're going to have a big bill in a couple of years, so it's a lot of things you got to do.
Or you're going to have a house that lost value because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, you got to change your filters, clean your gutters out, stuff like that, to maintain the condition of your property.
That last inspection, I didn't notice the root that was so close to the house, but you pointed it out, and your comment was just to keep an eye on it. And I think that was just like, it's something small, but it's so helpful. Like, the client knows, everybody knows, like, hey, we just need to keep an eye on that. And for me, being a realtor and being active even after we close the deal. So that's something like next year when I check in on her and say, hey, how's the root in the ground? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I wouldn't have known that if, he didn't do that inspection and wasn't as thorough as he was. And I read all 87 pages. So
that's a good realtor right there.
I read all
You'd be surprised how many realtors never even open up the report. You'd be surprised how many realtors, I'm not.
Well, I'm not a fan of putting my people in bad positions.
That's a lot.
So if you're depending on me to be knowledgeable about something, I don't see how we don't read the inspection.
No, that says a lot about your expertise and professionalism right there.
So yeah. Are you into real estate? You investing? What you doing?
Yeah, actually, I started doing some fix and flips. I did my first one back in 2018. And I did a few up until now. I mostly got into the contracting space. I did a pretty big project back in Louisiana last year. We renovated about 14 homes. But as far as on my own personal my own personal portfolio right now, I have one rental right now. Still am looking for rentals right now, but I just have my primary in the rental. But it's still,
you ain't called me yet though, but it's I got your number now.
I be busy right now with inspections, but and trying to learn the market, I'm still,
I'll shoot you a couple of things that I got on the lineup for investments.
That sounds good. Then. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we gonna continue to work.
We're gonna
together.
make it work. Yeah.
So you did the flips. You did a flip. You have a rental. What's better? Because a flip is not instant money, but it's quicker, a quicker gratification than a rental, because it takes sometimes years for you to make that money back doing rental. And then, you know, you do the repairs, you fix it, you put it on the market, and you sell it, and then you made your money back in the next 6 to 8 months. Yeah. So what would you prefer, rentals or flips?
They both got their pros and their cons, to be honest. It would be... I'd even throw another one in the hat and throw new construction in there, actually. So I got a lot right now. We're working on getting some plans together for new construction. That's actually probably the easiest. It's the longest process, new construction. But as far as just the, with renovations, you start pulling down walls, you never know what you're going to find back there.
Right.
You know, but as far as just really being able to run something, you know, and have systems in place, new construction, you can run like clockwork. And to be honest,
the hardest, now, we in Houston, and we see these new constructions going up day by day, week by week. But in my opinion, is the development part and the permit part. That's probably the longest part of the process. To even get started to build, you got to get the land ready to receive the build. And I do think that's probably one of the longest parts of the process. I do think it's all worth it, whether it's fix or flip, it's rentals, buy and hold. We got REITs, which is real estate investment trust, that you can put a couple of $100s in to start off with and watch that money grow. But I do think, regardless of whatever profession you're in, you should have a hand or two in the real estate game, because it's lucrative. It's lucrative. You got inspections, you're doing new constructions, and you got you a rental. So you headed in the right direction, and that one rental can be lucrative. I mean, it's a house. It's a house.
We all got to start from somewhere. Right, the man who has 100 houses at one point, he only had one. So
I don't know when he bought it, but we already know, like, you know what I'm saying, they gain equity over the years. So, you know, and the way the market goes today, it's almost like, hey, it's very profitable to own.
You don't know.
I seen a client make over $200K in a 3-year hold.
Yeah, that's what, I guess, as I got into real estate, the pieces started to connect. That's how people are really getting to move $200,000, $300,000 from the sale of a house they bought when they was young.
And then
set on it.
It's so many ways to move that money without the money actually being liquid. But that's for another episode. That's another episode. That's where the plays come in at. And,
the wealth is in real estate.
So that's my whole goal. So right now I'm working with athletes and entertainers on real estate investments, because, you know, these athletes got these NIL deals and they making all this money. I'm just so tired of watching us get the money and not knowing how to maintain it, grow it, and sustain it. That's why I wealth over fame, because what we doing this for? We doing it for the wealth, or we doing it for the fame? And I want people to do it for the wealth, because we got so many curses and it's so much poverty out here. And this is the way we break it with ownership. And that's what I just want to tell the youth and the athletes and entertainers, the podcasters, the YouTubers, the athletes, the entertainers. Y'all young, y'all get into that bag, and I really want y'all to invest in and grow it. And if you've seen $1 million, I firmly believe if you ever seen $1 million at one time, you should never be able to say you broke again. That's my firm belief. Like,
that's true. Don't go out and spend $20,000 on that Rolex. Go drop that $20,000 as your down payment on your house. That Rolex probably not gonna give you $300,000.
And to be honest, that Rolex not gonna be able to invest into a commercial property where you can do commercial leases and rent out, you know, workspaces and things like that, and make this money back tenfold. But, you know, I say it every time I get on the mic, every time I'm talking to somebody. Invest in real estate, you'll never regret it.
You'll never regret it.
So, I like sports. You like sports.
I love sports.
So we got some trivia questions for you real quick. Real estate and sports.
All right.
Which NBA player famously bought a $23 million mansion in Las Vegas in 2020?
Las Vegas. Who we have?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay, I'm gonna go with somebody either out the Lakers or the Clippers. 20 mil. I know it's not LeBron. I don't think it's LeBron. I'll go with Paul George out the Clippers.
All right, so that's wrong. It's LeBron. You should have won LeBron.
Oh, man.
And it's crazy because right now I did some research on LeBron. LeBron currently owns around $44 million worth of real estate.
LeBron's a beast.
He's a great businessman.
LeBron is an excellent
I know everybody who watch my podcast, they like, she brings up LeBron every time she talks. Hey. But I mean, tremendous athlete.
Tremendous athlete, businessman. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about him.
I really don't care about his personal life because it's his personal life.
His life.
He appears to be a great husband and father. We got Bronny James, who just declared to go to the draft. He is foregoing his college career. You think you ready?
I think he's ready. I'm not going to say anything bad about that man and his family.
I think he's a great athlete, but I do wish he would stay one more year in college.
I wish he stayed. He got to get ready.
Because he did a press conference and said, you know, I don't want to be known as LeBron James' son. Well, I want your numbers to be known as Bronny numbers, and I need you to go put up some numbers, to be honest.
You always be LeBron James' son.
I know a lot of people going to be like, oh, that's LeBron's son, and I watched Gilbert Arenas, and he say, college don't run in that family. But, you know, it's just a fact he had the cardiac arrest. He had USC. He averaging about 4.8 points a game, 19 minutes, 25 games he played, I think, this year. I just think if he gave it another run, maybe even at another school, but he is going to the draft. So.
And we know this, too. We know people who don't play well in college, they just might not have been a good scheme and a good system
might not have been a guy fit.
And sometimes they get to the league with a team and it's like, man, he played better.
LeBron didn't go to college. So, you know, LeBron didn't go to college and he's been the face of the league for 21 years. So, hey, it might not be in their DNA to go to college, but I would really like to see him. I've loved what he's doing in the combine, though.
He looked really good in the combine.
Really good in the combine. I'm going to say this on camera. I didn't think I was wrong about Angel Reese. I didn't think she was ready, but that girl is hooping, man. Like she is hooping, bro. Like I'm really excited that she proved me wrong. I'm ready for Cardoso to come back. But I really do. I'm glad she proved me wrong, though. But yeah,
women's basketball right now getting a lot of publicity right now.
It's been a lot of talent in the league.
Always been talent. Always.
They just needed that scenario. They needed that scandal or whatever you want to call it. And now you got Caitlin Clark, you got Angel Reese, you got
a little Magic and Bird
because you know we in America we love drama, so you know we had to create a narrative around it, and they did that. So you know you got the women's coming out with the Nike signature shoes. You got it's just a big thing happening for women's sports, and it's amazing. And I'm excited to see how far it goes, and the NBA is gonna back it, and I think Houston is thinking about getting their women's team back.
That's what I heard. They're trying to get the team back.
I think they're thinking about getting their women's team back. That's going to be amazing. So, yeah, I think that's going to be great. So, next question. Which NFL player sold his 12-bedroom mansion in Georgia for $4.15 million in 2021? A, Tom Brady. B, Matt Ryan. C, Julio Jones. D, Patrick Mahomes.
I know Tom Brady does not have a house in Atlanta. He might. But I'm gonna go with Matt Ryan.
You right, Matt Ryan sold a 12-bedroom mansion for $4.5 million in 2021. Just imagine how much that house worth in 2024 right now. I know way more than $4 million.
Oh yeah. 12-bedroom.
12-bedroom mansion. Which NBL player, Major League Baseball player, invested in a $275 million real estate portfolio that included luxury apartments and commercial properties? A, Derek Jeter. B, Alex Rodriguez. C, Bryce Harper. D, Clayton Kershaw.
That blew my mind. That just shows you the difference in money between the sports. Football was $4 million. Basketball was $30 million. And baseball is $275 million.
That's dope.
Should have been playing baseball.
Right.
I'm gonna go with A-Rod.
And it is A-Rod. A-Rod got that bag.
A-Rod got that money.
A-Rod got that bag.
Yeah.
So, last question is pretty easy. Which famous golfer purchased a $40 million estate on Jupiter Island, Florida? We got A, Tiger Woods, B, Phil Mickelson, C, Rory McIlroy, and D, Jordan Spieth.
Gotta go with Tiger Hood.
And it is Tiger Hood. So yeah, I think we've covered about anything. Is anything you want to tell the people? Let the people know where to find you on IG, how to get in contact.
Yeah, check us out on IG, Facebook. What's the other one? TikTok at C2C Home Inspections. Check out our website, www.c2chomeinspections.com. If you got any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on any of the social media platforms. Be happy to help out anyway. All
right, y'all. So I'm Whittney, the real estate game changer. That's all for today. And remember, the game is sold, not told. Y'all stay hustling. I'll catch y'all next time.